Good evening, everybody. Today, the topic is India and corruption. It is very unfortunate to have a chance for corruption in India. Actually, in India, the corruption is increasing as proportional as the population. What are the things are creating the suitable atmosphere for this much increase in this corruption? And mainly, even though many talented people are there and many sincere officers are there and many intelligence people and intelligentsia is there in India, but the main unfortunate of India is to give a chance for growth of corruption. But when we coming to the point of controlling or demolish the corruption in India, for that the main role goes to Central Bureau of Investigation. Actually, if we want to know about the brief history of the Central Bureau of Investigation, the Central Bureau of Investigation traces its origin to the Special Police Establishment which was set up in 1941 by the Government of India. The functions of the SPE then were to investigate cases of bribery and corruption in transactions with the War and Supply Department of India during World War II. Superintendence of the SPE was vested with the War Department. Even after the end of the war, the need for a central government agency to investigate cases of bribery and corruption by central government employees was felt. The Delhi Special Police Establishment Act was therefore brought into force in 1946. This act transferred the superintendence of the SPE to the Home Department, and its functions were enlarged to cover all departments of the Government of India. The jurisdiction of the SPE extended to all the union territories and could be extended also to the states with the consent of the state government concerned. The DSPE acquired its popular current name Central Bureau of Investigation, that is CBI, through a Home Ministry resolution dated 1/4/1963. Initially, the offences that were noted by the central government related only to corruption by central government servants. In due course, with the setting up of a large number of public sector undertakings, the employees of these undertakings were also brought under CBI purview. Similarly, with the nationalization of the banks in 1969, the public sector banks and their employees also came within the ambit of the CBI. From 1965 onwards, the CBI has also been entrusted with the investigation of economic offences and important conventional crimes such as murders, kidnapping, terrorist crimes, etc. on a selective basis. The SPE initially had two wings. They were the General Offences Wings GOW and Economic Offences Wing EOW. The GOW dealt with cases of bribery and corruption involving the employees of central government and public sector undertakings. The EOW dealt with the cases of violation of various economic or fiscal laws. Under this setup, the GOW had at least one branch in each state and the EOW in 4 metropolitan cities like Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai and Kolkata. These EOW branches dealt with offences reported from the regions, i.e. each branch had jurisdiction over several states. As the CBI over the years established a reputation for impartiality and competence, demands were made on it to take up investigation for more cases of conventional crimes such as murder, kidnapping, terrorist crime, etc. Apart from this, even the Supreme Court and the various high courts of the country also started entrusting such cases for investigation to the CBI on petitions filed by aggrieved parties. Taking into account the fact that several cases falling under this category were being taken up for investigation by the Central Bureau of Investigation, it was found expedient to entrust such cases to the branches having local jurisdiction. It was therefore decided in 1987 to constitute 2 investigation divisions in the CBI, namely Anti-Corruption Division and Special Crimes Division, the latter dealing with cases of conventional crime beside economic offences. The Central Bureau of Investigation should be made autonomous to make its investigation effective. This is very much important to control the corruption in India. Otherwise, it is very difficult to do the investigation in a proper way. This is what former Director General of CBI and head of the Special Investigation Team that probed the Rajiv Gandhi assassination, Dr. Karthikeyan, said during his visit to the city of Delhi. Mr. Karthikeyan was in the city for an annual techno management symposium called iFest at Nirma University. Speaking of how the CBI is susceptible to facing political pressures, particularly from ruling parties, Karthikeyan said that he was bombarded with phone calls from political leaders in an attempt to influence the investigation process. At present, the CBI depends on the government for everything. To make it effective, it should be made into an autonomous body. Something of the nature of the Central Vigilance Commission, said Karthikeyan. It should be a body which is completely free from political parties and bureaucrats. It should report only to Parliament and be answerable to the Supreme Court about its investigation. Karthikeyan also said that the Anti-Corruption Bureau and the CBI should not be separated from each other but should be one unit. Neither would be able to function effectively in separation. Along with Chief Commissioner of Excise, Gujarat, Lipika Majumdar and CMD of Gujarat, NRE Arun Jagatramka Kartikeya Vaj, judging an event called Gujarat NRE National Integrity Theme Contest, which is a part of the 3-day long fest. Speaking to students at the event, Kartikeya said the level of corruption in the country has increased to a worrisome level. The time-consuming nature of litigation and loopholes in the laws make it difficult to combat corruption. There is also a lack of political will to fight corruption practices. When the entire system is corrupt, anyone who is against the government gets the sympathy of the general public, and recent examples reflect this fact. Even honest people are compelled to resort to corruption for fear of losing out to competition. So, when we are coming to the view of Supreme Court suggests at least limited autonomy for CBI. The Supreme Court suggested granting of limited autonomy to the Central Bureau of Investigation so that it could discharge its statutory obligations without being influenced by anyone. The court has sought the Union government's response. The court stated it was not in favor of making the prime investigating agency totally autonomous, but would like to evolve a method based on checks and balances so that it could function independently in accordance with the law. The suggestion was made by a 3-judge bench comprising Chief Justice J.S. Verma, Justice S.B. Barucha and Justice S.C. Sen, while deferring to August 14 further hearing in the multi-million Jain Hawala case. The job of the CBI is not to interact with the government officials, but to interrogate to find the truth, the Supreme Court said in one case recently. The Supreme Court termed the CBI a caged parrot. CBI must know to stand up against all pulls and pressures by government and its officials. The Supreme Court bench, which also comprised Justices Madan B. Lokur and Kurian Joseph, said. So, actually, why we establish the government means government is of the people, by the people and for the people. But we are not electing the government just to increase the economic power of some politicians, or we are not donating some money to some of the politicians. So, actually, if we are not getting the sufficient protection on the constitutional rights provided to the citizen by the Constitution of India, then the ethics on the democracy will be fallen down. It is very much danger to the future of the nation. Hence, according to my view, it is very much important to give autonomy for CBI and such investigation agencies to control the corruption in our country. Once the corruption shows the arrow mark down, automatically the development of the country and its arrow mark shows that down. Thank you very much. I am thankful to everybody to give this opportunity to me to speak on this issue. Thank you one and all.